I have no idea where I left off last week. I think I was doing a motor or something. I don't even know if that's last week or just Facebook. But anyways, we're doing the brake lines because we're going to get the motor in. I welded these. Of course, I painted them now so you can't see my beautiful weld. That's all part of the plan. We got the master just in there so I can figure out where the lines are going to, obviously. I don't think this kit accounted for the power steering. I think it was going for original steering because this steering box is in my way. But a little bit of bending and tweaking. I had to do the same thing for the rear line. It'll all come together. But we got her all in there. All stainless steel. Gonna look pretty for a long time. Other than that, now I'm working on the front suspension parts here. One of the things I didn't do was clean up the drag link. I bought all new tie rod ends, but I need to clean up this bar, and I bought a rebuild kit for this. So all I'm doing right now is with my handy dandy torch, I am scraping off the crud so that I can find everything. But in case you're interested, I'll show you what's inside of here. I got no problems with these. My 57 pickup, the tie rod ends are like this. There's one long link that runs between them, and each end has one of these on it. And it's a couple of springs and some cups, packed full of grease. There's no reason for it to ever wear out. Unlike the tie rod ends you've got nowadays, they wear out, you throw them away. These can be rebuilt, and I'm going to do so. So anyways, I gotta clean that up and get some paint on it, and when I get that apart, I'll show you. See ya. It's all apart. Wasn't too bad to get out. I actually I warmed it up a bit with the propane torch, loosened up the grease, and then the pieces came out. So as you can see, the old cups and springs, not much difference. The only thing I am seeing that the old cup has got a groove in it to allow the grease to work its way around. Shouldn't be an issue. I gotta make sure there's grease packed on either side of the springs first, just to make sure nothing ever seizes up. Shouldn't be a problem. I don't foresee an issue. I got her all cleaned up now. I started pumping some grease in there, make sure the grease fitting was working. There you go, a little better view. So the grease fitting's good, she's all cleaned up. Time for some reassembly. Then we'll throw some paint on this bad boy and put it back together. Bring you back later. I'm back. I went home and had a senior moment. Took a little nap. Feel better now. Got my afternoon Tim Hortons. Raring to go. Not really. I'm not quite as good at making these videos as I used to be. Not that I was any kind of a pro before. I just find myself doing one thing after another, and I don't really stop. And I don't think about that no one is listening or paying attention. Not that anybody's paying attention anyways. So I watched what I was showing you earlier, and I realized I didn't show you putting that back together. Pretty self-explanatory though, spring on either side and a cup. So there you go. Once again, it's like I think I'm talking to myself, and I must be just talking to myself. Like I said earlier, I got those welded in and painted. Brake lines are in and done. The only thing I have to do is hook them up, obviously, tighten them and bleed them. Brakes, I moved on. I'm trying to get the motor assembled. I got the plenum yet to go in there. Just, oh, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty good at remembering how things go back together. But I took this motor apart probably 15 years ago. And I'm telling you, it's going back together, but remembering where the little screws and bolts go, it's kind of what do you call it, a reality check that the old mind ain't what it used to be. But she's coming back together. I want to get as much of it on it as I can so that I can put it in there, wrap it all up, and I'm not going to be bending over and leaning over trying to put it together. And then we'll get into the Bondo and all that wonderful, wonderful. So that's where we're at. See how far we get. Saturday afternoon. Plugging away. See ya. It's a Sunday morning and we're taking it easy today. We got this put together, as you see. I'll show you the pictures, but it's all buttoned up. Wiring harness is the next issue I got to deal with on that. Bring back old memories. But we're going to put that onto the transmission and stab it in there. I think this shrink wrap's going to be a cool idea, because then when I'm all said and done, I can just take a razor blade, peel it off, and go for it. This way it stays overspray free, because that would be a complicated motor to clean up. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to get that onto that. Yeah, I know that's pretty ugly, but something tells me I'll be pulling that out in the future and maybe rebuilding it or anything like that. I'll be able to fuss with it later. We got the cross member for the transmission mounted properly now. I had to drill out some holes. Brake lines are run. Suspension's done, but you've been following along. You know that already. I'm repeating myself. So let's stab this motor in here. I'll bring you back when there's some exciting progress. See ya. I'm so excited about my progress. So if you remember last week, I was dealing with the pot marks on this deck lid. I've given it a skim coat. I had a low spot there that it's going to be full of Bondo, but we'll see. Maybe something better come along. Landlord's got one hidden away somewhere he wants to give me, but I thought I'd give this a shot just to see how it come up. But it's coming up alright. So anyways, we stabbed the old V8 in the old 57. Everything's in there. She's ready to go now. Of course, yeah, I guess I should have wrapped everything with shrink wrap, keep her clean, but that's the joys. Anyways, we're spreading Bondo and we're sanding it and having a great old time. Music's cranking. Of course, I have to turn it down. But yeah, that's all we're doing. Bondo on, Bondo off. Bondo on, Bondo off. See ya. So, for those of you who know, obviously a 55, 57, different cars, same sheet metal, different holes though. So, in order for me to get my 57 emblems that I bought to go on here, I had to do some internet searching. So, drilled out the holes for the Chevrolet, made this one a little too big, so I welded it closed. I'll drill it out again, and drilled out those holes, and then I filled in the 56 emblem holes. So we gotta do a little bit of body work in there. I gotta knock them down level and fill them, and we're doing pretty good here. This deck lid's gonna be alright. I think I'm gonna save it, put this away before it gets destroyed. But yeah, that's what we're doing. See ya. Well, it's the end of another glorious weekend. I think I got a bit done. I always wish I could have got a bit more done. It's a good layer of dust all over the shop, so that means I was doing something. I think we got the motor back in for the last time. Fingers crossed. The doors are on. We got all the doors back on. I got the front end will come. The doors are on. The deck lid is fit pretty good. Pretty good. 60-plus-year-old car. I'm okay with the gaps. I'm not trying to turn this into some kind of trailer queen. We're gonna drive it. We're gonna bend it, scrape it, scratch it, do it again. So anyways, guys, have a good weekend, or what's left of it. A good week. Next weekend is a long weekend. Hopefully I will be getting a lot more done. Till then, we'll see ya. I don't know what else to say. See ya.